This is Eric from Pack Hacker, and today we're taking a look at the tomtoc Aviator-T33 Chest Bag, which I've been testing for the past 2 weeks. Let's dive in. So before I dive too far in, I should mention that there are 1.5, 2.5, and 3.5 liter versions of this. This is the 3.5 liter, and we chose that one because we think it's probably best for travel. You can fit the most amount of stuff inside of it, but if you want something smaller, you can go for one of those. They all look very similar, just kind of shrunken down, but we haven't gotten our hands on those, so we can't speak too much to those exact bags. But this is crafted from nylon. As you can see, it has some nice little texture to it when you get close, almost like a little mini ripstop fabric there. Pretty lightweight. Pretty water resistant as well, got caught in the rain, no problems. Have a little gusset here on this zipper pull. None on the top because there's not really as much area for it to pull or on the back, but we do have one on the front there. Overall, pretty happy with this, lightweight, durable, water resistant. I think over time, I would worry more about durability, especially if you are more rugged with it, but over 2 weeks, no issues to report. Got YKK zippers. I already kind of showed you the zippers a little bit, but tomtoc pretty much always uses YKK at this point. Nice to see that because YKK, some of the best zippers in the business as far as I'm concerned at least. Very basic pulls on these things, just a little bit of piece like paracord-like material with a knot on the end. Same with the ones over here and on the back as well. So we do have these two little tabs here on the front, which can be used for a variety of things. You could attach gear in there if you wanted to, but when you're wearing it, it's kind of nice to be able to, so if I'm trying to open the zipper this way, I can hold this one. Or if on this one, I'm trying to open the zipper this way, I can hold this one, or whatever is easiest for you personally. So they don't really get in the way if you don't want to use them, but they're there, and I like that inclusion. The hardware here is from Duraflex. This buckle is very large. I'm curious if the smaller versions of this sling have the same size buckle. It feels a little bit big even for the 3.5 liter, but I would rather have it be too big than too small, if that makes sense. But no issues with it popping open or anything like that. Duraflex, another very good brand. We've got I believe it's a Stealth Warrior. We're upside down there, but does the job. No issues to complain about. On the side here, we have a Hypalon-like logo tab. So that's the only place I believe on the exterior of the sling that has the tomtoc logo on it. So very minimalistic. I think it kind of looks nice. These little Hypalon-like logo tabs are pretty popular right now. But overall, I really like how this thing looks. Not very saturated, so if you want something super colorful, you're going to have to look elsewhere. But I think that this kind of goes with mostly everything, even if it is a little bit bland. And just overall pretty happy with the materials and the hardware. They've held up very well over 2 weeks. So when it comes to the harness system, it's pretty basic. On the back panel here, or I guess I should say almost like a lack of a back panel, there's no aeration, there's no padding or anything like that. But because of the design of the sling, there is a pocket right here, which is well suited for flat items. So I have my phone in there right now, which you can probably kind of see the outline of. So whatever you stow here is going to kind of become your back panel. And as long as you put flat items there, it shouldn't really be a problem. If you were to put some like randomly shaped stuff in there, it might be an issue. But whatever you put there's your back panel. So be smart about that, and then you should have a pretty comfortable back panel. I will say this material did get a bit warm when I was wearing it, especially it's been pretty hot here lately. So I mean, I don't think it got way warmer than a normal sling, but there's no aeration or anything like that. So it did just feel a little bit warmer than I was expecting it to, especially with the lighter colorway that we have. On the strap here, as you can see, it's very wide, so it does a good job of spreading out that weight wherever you're wearing it. But there's no padding or aeration or anything like that. Again, so one time when I was wearing this, I don't remember what color shirt I was wearing, but it was like a Dickies shirt, and I just had like a sweat line like right here because I was wearing it across this way. Because again, I mean, I think that happens with pretty much with most slings that I wear, but because there's no aeration, maybe it was just a little bit worse. But I was comfortable when I was wearing it. I wasn't like getting suffocated by it or anything like that. And we do have like little hip huggers here on the sides, which I always like that slings have because they kind of just make it a little bit of a buffer zone between the strap and the sling itself. So overall pretty comfortable, but if you are a fan of padding and aeration, we do not have any of that here. So if you are finding this video helpful, make sure you throw a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so we can continue making content like this to help you travel smarter. So as you can see, I have it on my front right now, and this is, as the name suggests, a chest bag. So this is how I typically wore it. I like wearing my slings a little bit tighter. And you actually, if you have a larger body type, you could probably wear this as a fanny pack, but I can't quite wear it. The strap just doesn't quite get short enough to work with my waist. But you would be able to do that, or if you're wearing layers, you might be able to do that too. But this is a crossbody bag, like this is what it's designed to do. And although it is a chest bag, you can transition from chest to back pretty easily. I'm gonna stop talking when I do it because I know I'm probably gonna hit the mic at least a little bit. Yeah, that did not go super well, but as you can see, the transition was pretty easily. If it looked awkward, it was because I was trying to avoid hitting the mic. But I'll spin around now and you can see what it looks like on my back. I actually wore this on a few different bike rides and it was pretty comfortable. It stayed put pretty well. I guess that's probably down to I do wear my slings pretty tight, but overall pretty comfortable if you ask me. You do have some issues with sweat, as I mentioned, but overall I think it's pretty comfortable. So we're going to combine all of these pockets into one section because they're not very big, and I think that we can do it and save some time that way. So the first pocket we'll go over is this front pocket right here. So this one has a little bit of organization inside of it right now, and I just have my pair of sunglasses. These are from Ambraz. I'm not actually sure how to say those yet, but I probably should have put them in the case, but they're just in there. No issues with them getting scratched up or anything like that when I've had them in there. And then my chum's surf shorts wallet in there as well. So you can see there is some organization. We have two pockets here, just liner material. All of the liner in this thing is orange, so it kind of pops out and you can see your gear a little bit better, unless it's that exact color orange, and then you might have a bit of a problem. But the top of these are a little bit of elastic, not super stretchy, but stretchy enough for my liking to hold onto a wallet or something like that. And then we do have a key leash here as well. And this is metal. I like it when these are metal. They just feel a little bit more durable than when they're plastic. I don't really use these too often because I do have my keys attached to my wallet with the chum's wallet, but nice to have. It kind of stays out of the way when you don't want to use it. Good length. Typically I like these to be shorter or longer, but this one doesn't bother me so much. But nice little bit of pockets, and this has a little bit of depth of its own here, so you're not really sharing as much space with the main compartment, which I like. But if you do overpack the main compartment, you are going to suffer the consequences of that a little bit in this compartment. Not completely, but just a little bit. Moving to the back side here, we have, it's almost like a little hidden pocket. It's not super hidden, but while you're wearing it, people can't see it, so I will call it a hidden pocket. And I've just got my phone stowed inside there right now, iPhone 11, with a pretty minimalistic case on there. And no organization here, just a big open pocket. No padding here either, so if you are putting your phone in there, I wouldn't put the screen side on this side, just because, I mean, you never know what's going to happen. And you don't have any really much padding on this side either, but the gear and other materials are going to stop it from getting walloped or anything like that on the other side. So definitely flat items here, so it's still comfortable while you're wearing it. You can put a passport back there, travel documents, just stuff you want to keep safe, but again, should be flat. Moving on to the main compartment, as you can see, we have quite a big opening here, so you can really get into the organization of this thing. I don't have a ton of stuff inside here right now, but I kind of was using this as like a makeshift tech pouch while I was testing it. Because typically in my slings, that's what I carry. Like unless I'm going to like an event or something like that, it's like I have my battery bank and things to charge inside of here. And then anything else I add is just on top of that. Like at some point I had some snacks in the front pockets, like my sunglasses were in here. I also had a pair of over-ear headphones that were inside of here as well. That really kind of monopolized the space, but it did work. So you can find a good mixture of where your gear goes in these three pockets. I mean, obviously this is mostly flat stuff in the back, but between these two pockets, you can really get a good flow of where your gear is gonna go. So we have like a very small tablet style pocket here on the back. I don't have a small tablet, I have like a bigger iPad at home, so that's not gonna fit inside of here. So I typically just have my battery bank inside of here. I've got a big Anker 20K power bank, and that just kind of slides in there nicely, and it's just a good place for it to be, so it's not really bouncing around, or if I had this in here, it would maybe hitting like the sunglasses or whatever. So I like having a spot for that just back here. I could also put it in the zippered pocket on the other side, which we'll get to. But and then here in these two pockets here, I just have my different cables that I would typically use throughout the day. I have my USB-C to Lightning alone in this side because that's the one I'm using most often because I do have an iPhone, so that's the one I'm going to charge. And then the other side I have these two. It's a little bit harder to get to one of the two, so these two are together because I don't use them as much. USB-C to USB-C and USB-C to micro USB. Yes, I still use this. I know. You can shame me, but yes, I still use that cable. But good pockets here. They're made of mesh as well, not liner material, so they do stretch, so you can fit larger gear inside there if you want. You can put a mouse in there, a bunch of different stuff if you wanted to. And then we have this zippered compartment on this side, and that's just where I have my two little wall chargers. Again, I could put a lot more stuff inside of there, but this is how I've been testing it. And this is like my baseline, and then I add more to it as I see fit. So quite a big pocket here, and I really like this because it's a zippered compartment, so you can lock down smaller things. Like I don't want these bouncing around the main compartment just so I know where they are. So it's really good for smaller gear that you want to just have locked down and not bouncing around. So if I were to put those inside of this pocket, they're so small compared to even with the elastic, like these could bounce out. Then when I go to find it, if I need to charge my phone or something, it might take me a little bit longer. So that might be silly, but that's my reasoning for putting smaller stuff inside this pocket. So this is advertised as RFID blocking, and we were able to test it for NFC blocking, and it did work for that. We don't have an RFID test yet, but if you have a way for us to do that, drop a comment below and let us know. But overall, very happy with the three compartments at 3.5 liters. I feel like all of my gear kind of has a home and I know where to put it, but it doesn't like get in my way and tell me where I have to put it, so I really can get into the nitty-gritty of organizing, especially between the front and the main compartment. This was pretty much just my phone, or if I was traveling, I'd put my passport in there. But overall, very happy with the organization, and just this thing has held up really well, and I'm pretty happy with it, especially for the very cheap price. So there you have it, the tomtoc Aviator-T33 Chest Bag. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel. We'll see you in the next one.